Have you ever asked an LLM a question about something that happened this morning or tried to get it to analyze an internal company file only to have it completely make up an answer with absolute confidence? It is incredibly frustrating and it feels like the tool is broken. But what you are experiencing isn't a software bug, it is a fundamental wall built into how these systems are made. If you look at the top left corner of the image, you will see a glowing purple cylinder labeled training data. This represents the fixed capsule of information the model was born with. Below that, you can see a barrier marked training cutoff date. That is the exact moment the model's education stopped. Now, move your eyes down to those three smaller panels grouped at the bottom left. They show a new sticker, a confidential folder, and a database record, all stamped with red slash marks. Because of that cutoff date, the model has absolutely no access to recent events, your private documents, or live data. To the model, anything that happened after its cutoff date or exists outside its training bubble simply does not exist. Here is the twist, and it is something most people get completely wrong. If you look over to the right side where the main LLM chip is glowing under a question mark, that is where the real breakdown happens. The LLM is not failing because it reasons badly. It is failing because it genuinely does not know the answer. Yet it cannot tell the difference between a fact it knows and a gap in its own memory. When it hallucinates, it is not lying to you. It is doing exactly what it was trained to do, which is to predict the next most likely word based on its frozen history. So how do we fix a machine that is brilliant at reasoning but completely blind to the present day? The answer is simple. You treat the model exactly like a brilliant friend who has been locked in a room without internet for 5 years. You don't try to reprogram their brain or give them an entirely new degree. Instead, right before you ask them a question, you hand them the exact stack of documents, articles, or records they need to read to give you the right answer. If you look at the top left of the image, you will see a character sitting at a desk labeled LLM with a small assistant handing over pages under the header New Way. This is the core concept of Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG. Rather than forcing the system to guess based on old data, we give it an open book exam. But here is the catch that surprises most people. RAG does not actually make the LLM smarter, it makes it better informed. The underlying model is still exactly the same, running the same algorithms as before. The magic isn't that we upgraded its brain, it is that we simply handed it the right metaphorical newspaper before it started talking. To see how this happens systematically, cast your eyes down to the three-step pipeline running across the bottom of the graphic. On the bottom left, step 1 shows a search engine icon feeding data into a purple capsule, representing the retrieval of relevant passages. We automatically scan your database or documents to pull out only the specific paragraphs that match your question. Moving along the bottom row to the center, step 2 shows that data flowing into a container labeled prompt plus context. This is the augment phase where the system takes your original question and glues those freshly retrieved facts right onto it, building one giant information-rich instruction. Finally, look at the bottom right corner where the data flows into a chat bubble for step 3. Generate a grounded answer because the LLM chip up on the right is now reading your provided text. It produces a factual response based exclusively on the documents it was just given, eliminating the guesswork entirely. But how does a computer automatically look through millions of your private files and find the exact sentence needed to answer your specific question in less than a second? To make this happen instantly, the system divides the entire workload into two separate operations. If you look at the top half of the diagram, you will see phase 1, the ingestion pipeline, which runs from left to right. This is the preparation work that happens long before a user ever types a word. Let's follow the ingestion pipeline starting at the far top left. Your original documents like PDFs and text files enter a chunking engine. Why do we chunk them? Because an LLM has a strict limit on how much text it can read at once. By chopping massive documents into small bite-sized pieces, We make sure we only feed the model exactly what it needs later. Moving right to the next step, those text chunks enter an embedding model, which turns them into vector embeddings. Here is the mind bending part. An embedding is not a summary of the document, and it is not the text itself, it is a massive list of numbers, usually 1536 of them. This list of numbers plots the exact mathematical meaning of that text chunk in a multi-dimensional space. In this space, sentences with similar meanings end up with closer numbers, which is the secret to how computers understand concepts without just matching keywords. Finally, on the far top right, these number lists are stored in a specialized vector database. Now look at the bottom half of the diagram to see phase 2, the query phase. This is the real-time loop that triggers when a user actually asks a question. On the bottom left, a user types a prompt which immediately passes through that same embedding model to become a query vector. Follow the arrow from the query vector to the center cylinder where it enters the vector database. The database performs a lightning-fast mathematical comparison called a similarity search, comparing the user's question numbers against all the document numbers we stored during the ingestion phase. It instantly grabs the top matching chunks, a process engineers call top K retrieval, which you can see represented by the two document icons pointing toward the LLM chip. By gluing these top K snippets onto the user's original question, the LLM finally generates a perfectly grounded answer on the far bottom right. This two-phase architecture works beautifully for small experiments. But what happens when you try to run this system for thousands of users across millions of shifting corporate documents all at the same time? To see how this works, when the training wheels come off, take a look at the top left corner of the graphic, where you will see a group of people labeled 100 million monthly users. Handling this massive concurrency is where standard RAG architecture breaks down. If you want to keep learning how these bleeding edge systems operate at scale, hit the subscribe button right now because the engineering required to pull this off is incredible. Now follow the pipeline from left to right across the top half to see how Perplexity coordinates this influx. When a user asks a question, the request hits a massive fleet of parallel embedding models. But here is the pattern interrupt that blows most people's minds. Perplexity does not use a static database of pre-stored company documents. It runs a live web search, crawls global news sites, extracts the relevant passages, and feeds them into a specialized re-ranking model to sort the wheat from the chaff. All of this happens from scratch for every single question in under 2 seconds. Look down at the bottom right quadrant where you see the label augment prompt next to a document containing numbered brackets. This is the re-ranking and citation grounding step. The system doesn't just hand the LLM a wall of text. It meticulously organizes the top matching snippets and assigns them numbered citations before passing them forward. Finally, cast your eyes to the far bottom right corner where the final answer is generated. Because the prompt was so highly optimized and cited, the LLM chip up on the right produces a perfectly formed response complete with numbered citations that link back to live web sources. But orchestrating this entire loop under 2 seconds doesn't just happen by magic. What does it actually look like under the hood for an engineer trying to build, evaluate, and maintain a production RAG system without breaking the bank? If you look at the top half of the graphic, you will see the three massive issues we just solved running from left to right: the knowledge cutoff date barrier, private data access restrictions, and the plague of hallucination on facts. For standard developers, this looks like a complete victory. They think they can just plug in an LLM provider, connect a vector database, and call it a day. But look down at the bottom half under the heading New Problems RAG introduces. This is where the true engineering begins. On the bottom left, under wrong retrieval, your pipeline might fetch completely irrelevant documents because your search quality is poor. In the middle cylinder labeled stale chunks, you face the nightmare of outdated information sitting in your vector store. And on the right, under retrieval miss, your query embedding fails to surface the critical knowledge the model actually needs, causing the LLM to confidently hallucinate anyway. Here is the counterintuitive closing insight that separates beginners from experts. Most engineers treat RAG as a magic problem solver, but the engineers who actually build reliable production systems treat RAG as a problem introducer. They understand that by adding a retrieval layer, they haven't eliminated bugs, they have just traded database hallucinations for retrieval failures. They designed the system around these three failure modes from the very first line of code. Look at the engineering separator question box in the bottom right corner. Being able to articulate these three exact failure modes and knowing how to systematically evaluate and fix them is exactly what separates senior AI engineers from developers who only know how to call an API. If you want to master this architecture, hit subscribe to get out deep dives every single week. Then click the link in the description to watch our next video on chunking, where we break down how to split your documents for optimal retrieval. Because bad chunk quality is the number one point of failure in every production pipeline.